Bogdan the Scandinavian. Was he a Viking?
No, I don't think so. He never played football.
Well, I'm going to have to disappoint you. This isn't a story about man or the snake. This is a story of God and how much he wants to be in relationship with us. And all through the Old Testament, we can see a record of how God has offered to restore our relationship with him. One of the most memorable moments came when God saved the Hebrew people from slavery in Egypt. First, he showed his power to protect them from disaster by passing over their houses as he punished the Egyptians for their pride. Next, God showed his power by parting the Red Sea so that the Jews could escape from the Egyptians. And to this day, Jews celebrate the Passover in remembrance of those miracles. Now, after demonstrating his love through such an amazing display of mercy, grace, and power, God offered to be their God if they were willing to be his people. And very quickly they agreed, but in their hearts, they really just wanted to live like people who lived all around them. And so, with their lips, they told everybody that they were the people of God. But by their actions, they were unfaithful, choosing to worship idols and pagan gods.
Is that like American Idol?
No, not at all. Is it okay for me to continue?
Fine, whatever. Just pretend I'm not even here.
I've been trying, trust me. I really have been trying. Anyway, as a result, God allowed them to be taken away from their homes that they loved and the land that God had given to them, to suffer the indignity of being conquered and the misery of being scattered all around the world. For 70 years they lived under the control of the Babylonian Empire. And during that ordeal there was a growing desire to be restored to God and to finally experience this Messiah that God had been promising for centuries. Now, the term Messiah is a title that means leader and deliverer. And there are many places in the Old Testament that speak about a future Messiah. But there are three references that point to the birth of a child that we understand now to be the baby Jesus. The first says that the Messiah would be born of a virgin. The second, that this child would be a counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. And the third tells us that he is to be born in Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. Caesar's decree fulfilled the prophecy. That's why they had the Lord's nativity in Bethlehem. Bethlehem is where the shepherds came and bowed with angels in the clouds. Bethlehem.
Okay. Well, the first verse is Isaiah 7:14, and it says, "The Lord himself will give you the sign. Look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. The second verse is Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 and 7. "For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His government and his peace will never end, and he will rule with fairness and justice from the throne of his ancestor David for all eternity." The passionate